Let the torch of freedom burn.
You found your way to the intersection of faith and the culture. It's WallBuilders Live, and we're talking about today's hottest topics on policy and faith and the culture, always from a biblical, historical, and constitutional perspective. That conversation normally is taking place here on WallBuilders Live with David Barton, America's premier historian and the founder of WallBuilders, and with Tim Barton, national speaker and pastor and president of WallBuilders, and myself, Rick Green. I'm America's Constitution coach and a former Texas legislator. But David and Tim aren't here today. Instead, we have two special guests in the studio that are going to be telling us about their experience with Patriot Academy and also giving you an opportunity to team up with WallBuilders and Patriot Academy this summer. Now, before we get to Mike and Elijah, who are joining us in studio, I want to encourage you to visit our website today, wallbuilderslive.com. Very easy to get there and a lot of great tools for you there. You can go into the archives of the program, pick up shows you missed over the last few weeks. You can also donate on that page, which I want to encourage you to do. Lives, fortunes, and sacred honor. Yeah, it takes dollars to win a war. We're in a culture war right now, and if we're going to win the hearts and minds of Americans, we've got to have the tools we need to get out there and let the message be heard. That takes dollars, and that's where you come in as a listener who supports this program, and we're a listener-supported program. So we need listeners like you making those contributions. So be sure and check out wallbuilderslive.com, click on the contribute button, and make that one-time or monthly contribution, which I'm sure Mike and Elijah, you guys are going to do right now, right? You're rushing off to the computer to click on contribute.
Every day.
They're looking at me like, didn't know that's why we were here. Actually, here we have Mike Noriega and Elijah O'Neill, two of our best Patriot Academy grads, phenomenal guys. Y'all are from Arizona and California. So my Texas audience, I mean, we're heard all over the country, but we have a lot of Texans that listen, and they're wondering, Rick, why are you bragging on two guys that aren't Texans? Well, it's because y'all are great patriots, and you don't have to be from Texas to be a patriot, do you?
Amen.
Even from California? I'm not sure about that.
Exactly. There's a couple left.
Okay, you're not the only patriot in all of California, because I saw you speaking in front of 150 people in California.
Exactly.
Were they patriots?
They were all patriots who love studying the Constitution.
What did you talk to them about?
I talked to him about Patriot Academy and the principles of liberty we learn at Patriot Academy every summer, like limited government, individual liberty, free enterprise, and the timeless truths of the Bible that makes it all possible.
Love it. And how did they respond?
They're really happy that there are more patriots, young patriots, willing to support the cause of freedom.
Yeah, I saw their responses, actually. I got to watch a few of the clips online. I really want our audience to get this. California. This is in California, and Mike was speaking to this big group who had been coming out every week to study the Constitution, walk through Constitution Alive. And Mike, you were a hit, man. I'm telling you, I heard all the reports. I heard them, cheering for you in the room. But then I talked to Scarlett, who put on the class, and other people that were there. And you just did a phenomenal job. So thank you for sharing. I don't know if you guys know this, and our audience can't tell because they just hear you. They're not looking at you. But let's see, Mike, you're 19 or 20 now?
19.
19, and Elijah?
I'm 21.
21. Okay, so 19 and 21. And I've watched both of you get up in front of a group of people, all ages. I mean, some of the people in the audience, 85, some of them, 20s. I've watched you guys speak, and just the hope that is communicated when you share your passion and love of liberty, and you show people that they can make a difference. It's an inspiration. So thanks to both you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Elijah, you do a lot of this, right? You like speaking in front of groups. You came to Patriot Academy when you were how old?
I was 17 years old, I believe.
17. And first time to be in a house floor debate situation?
Yes, that is correct. Actually, one of the most tense moments I remember from my first Patriot Academy was with you.
Did I take you on?
Oh, you took me on.
Oh,
and
man.
It was very interesting, but also very fun. Very fun.
And when you came to Patriot Academy, did you feel like, okay, wow, this is something? I mean, at first, were you like, I don't want to be here, or were you immediately excited about what you were doing?
I was immediately excited to be there. I had always been in search for my people. And it also seems like there doesn't seem to be a lot of individuals my age that seem to support the Constitution or the precepts in the Declaration of Independence. But as soon as I got there and I got to see, 30 other students that believed what I believed, that America is not done for, that the principles outlined in the Constitution are still alive and well in the hearts of even the young people of today, it gave me incredible hope for the future, and I felt right at home my first time being there.
I think that's what people in audiences, when they hear the two of you speak, that's the experience they get. They're like, wow, there are young people in the next generation that care about this, that are articulate, that are passionate, that know what to do. So it's a men of Issachar situation, really. It's understanding the times and knowing what to do. And when you guys speak, that's what happens. And we're going to take a quick break here. As we go to break, I want to encourage people that are listening, we're going to talk a little bit more about what the Patriot Academy experience is all about and how people can sign up for that. PatriotAcademy.com to do that today. But the other thing I want to encourage you to do is you can click on the speakers on that page. There's a button that says something speakers. I can't remember. Events and speakers, I think is the title of it. Anyway, and you can actually book Mike and Elijah to come speak to your group, especially if you're in Texas. Now, it's harder for us to get them somewhere, but we're looking for ways to get them in other places across the country. But if you're in Texas and you'd like to have these young men come and inspire your group, go to PatriotAcademy.com today. If you're outside of Texas, we got a few trips this year that we're going to take that might give them the opportunity to speak to your group as well. But really exciting thing to have these young people come and inspire your group. Quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to WallBuilders Live.
This is David Barton with another moment from America's history. The only title in the U.S. Constitution is We the People. In America, our government belongs to the people, or at least to those who get involved. In recent years, too many godly citizens have become spectators, apathetic about voting. However, Christians in previous generations behaved differently. For example, Daniel Webster declared, "The exercise of the vote is a social duty of as solemn a nature as man can be called to perform. A man may not innocently trifle with his vote. Every man and every measure that he votes for has an important bearing on the interest of others. By the selection of our own leaders, we the people will determine the direction of our own national policy and whether we'll honor or dishonor God. Therefore, voting can be considered a type of national ministry, so remember to vote in the upcoming elections."
For more information on God's hand in American history, contact WallBuilders at 1-800-8REBUILD.
We're back on WallBuilders Live. Thanks for staying with us today. I've got two guests in the studio with me today. Elijah O'Neill from Arizona, Mike Noriega from California. Both of these guys have been to Patriot Academy several times. And actually, not only been to Patriot Academy, you guys traveled the whole nation last summer, going to all the Patriot Academies, helping to mentor other young people. How weird was that for you to switch gears from being the student that was being taught and mentored by others to being one of the ones to see those other young people come in the room for the first time, maybe at a house chamber or in a committee room, and you were the one that came alongside them and mentored them? Was that strange to switch gears?
Well, I think it's a neat opportunity to be able to see the same spark that was ignited in us and other patriots across the country.
I like that.
To be able to see how they enjoy the legislative process and what they learned new about politics.
So you saw the light in their eyes, kind of like you felt it in your own eyes the first time you came.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very, very cool. And you got to do that in, let's see, you went to Arizona, so we had the Phoenix Patriot Academy. You went to Boise, Idaho. You went to Tallahassee, Florida. Dover, Delaware. Y'all did one in Colorado. And then, of course, the big one in Texas. And then this year we're going to Indiana for the first time, and you guys are going to be joining us on that, the inaugural Midwest Patriot Academy. Pretty cool to open a new. I was trying to remember, you guys, were y'all on any of the first-time regional academies when we first opened in a state?
I don't think so.
I don't think you'd been to an academy yet, maybe when we opened Arizona and Idaho, because you first came to Arizona, and it wasn't the first one, right? If I remember. Okay.
Correct.
And then I couldn't remember if you went with us to Florida. Okay, so let's talk about the Patriot Academy experience. I know we got listeners that are thinking, okay, wait a minute, these two guys obviously love this stuff. What if I'm not really into politics, or maybe it's not the student that's listening, and students 16 to 25 for Patriot Academy, 16 years old up to 25. We also have a military academy, so you can be any age if you served in the military at any time in your life, any branch. We have that academy, and you can learn more at PatriotAcademy.com. And then we have our citizen track for people outside of those two groups. So there's something for everyone, but most of our students are 16 to 25 years old. And I got to think that there's people listening, either that student in that age range, or a parent maybe, or a grandparent, or maybe it's a youth pastor or somebody down the street. I know this young man or this young lady, 19, but I don't know if they're interested in politics. Address that for a second.
Sure.
What about those students that this isn't their passion?
Yeah.
But there's other things they're going to learn, not only to be a good citizen, but just the social interaction, the networking. What are some of the other benefits of coming to Patriot Academy?
No, absolutely. And I do think that is of particular importance to understand that Patriot Academy doesn't only teach you about the Constitution and the precepts and declaration, but also teaches you practical life skills that you can apply in every facet of life. So we teach you communication skills and public speaking skills and just how to be a good citizen. And those those abilities, if you will help you in every facet of life, not just in politics.
I mean, I could see even if you're planning to go into business,
Absolutely,
or into the pulpit, if you're thinking about going into ministry, I mean, whatever area you're thinking about God's called you to, being a good communicator is going to benefit you in any of those.
yes.
And then just the basic networking skills, right? You kind of learn how to work a room. You
Right.
learn how to interact with people from all walks of life. I mean, you even have to talk to people from California. And that's the hard part, Mike, is we let people like you from California come. I mean, even if somebody's listening today from Massachusetts,
Right.
we would let them come to Patriot Academy.
Almost a Texan.
Almost a Texan.
Almost.
You've been enough to be a Texan now. So, all right. So let's see. What other things were you concerned about when you were thinking about coming to Patriot Academy? There had to be some hesitation, some things that you were thinking, I'd like to, but I don't know.
I think when I first saw the promotional video, you see a room of articulate speakers and national debate champions.
Right.
People who this is their passion.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm coming in with a new idea, I guess, and not being as prepared as they are, it seems, from the outside.
Yeah.
It's intimidating.
Yeah.
But when you get in that room with like minds who are willing to help you, who don't use debate national champion skills
Right,
against you, but
right.
rather to help you learn and improve.
That's a really good point.
Personally, for me, what really impressed me was everyone there was for the same goal, for the same mission, and no one was there to beat you in a debate or get their bill passed first before you were. Everybody was there to help each other, and it was to help each other increase in debate skills and knowledge of the Constitution and various other aspects. So it's not at all a competition, but very much more so a learning experience in the area and sphere of
It
politics.
sounds like, I like the way you're describing it, because I've always thought of it as iron sharpening iron.
Right.
You're sharpening the countenance of each other.
Sure.
Everybody's getting better as a part of that. But like you're saying, Mike, I mean, sometimes you watch those videos and you see these debate champs or what appear to be, and we have national debate champs that come to Patriot Academy, and you go, oh, great. If I'm on the House floor and I'm debating against this guy or gal that's just won the national championship, and how in the world, and the good news is they actually come alongside you and help you instead of, trying to smack down kind of a deal. So that is a really, really important part of the whole experience. We got to take another quick break. PatriotAcademy.com is the website. That's where you can sign up to come to any of our academies this summer. We got, as we mentioned, all those different places. Those are our regional academies. We go to Phoenix, to the capital there in Arizona. We go to, for our Northwest Academy, we go up to Idaho. In Boise, for our Southeast Academy, we go to Florida. They're in Tallahassee at the capital. And then for the Northeast, we go into Dover in Delaware. And this year, for the first time in the Midwest, we're headed to Indianapolis and going to have our first Patriot Academy there in Indiana, and then our big one in Texas. Those are all summer long. There's several in June, July, and then our big one in August. Check it out at patriotacademy.com to learn more. Stay with us. You're listening to WallBuilders Live.
Hey, this is Tim Barton with WallBuilders. And as you've had the opportunity to listen to WallBuilders Live, you've probably heard the wealth of information about our nation, about our spiritual heritage, about the religious liberties, about all the things that makes America exceptional. And you might be thinking, as incredible as this information is, I wish there was a way that I could get one of the WallBuilders guys to come to my area and share with my group, whether it be a church, whether it be a Christian school or public school or some political event or activity. If you're interested in having a WallBuilder speaker come to your area, you can get on our website at www.wallbuilders.com, and there's a tab for scheduling. And if you'll click on that tab, you'll notice there's a list of information from speakers' bios to events that are already going on, and there's a section where you can request an event to bring this information about who we are, where we came from, our religious liberties and freedoms. Go to the WallBuilders website and bring a speaker to your area.
Welcome back to WallBuilders Live. We're talking about Patriot Academy today. It's the perfect time to apply to Patriot Academy. You go to the website today at patriotacademy.com. The first one will be in June. There's 4 of them taking place in June, and then in July, and then also in August, our National Academy. And we've got Mike and Elijah with us. Mike Noriega from California, Elijah O'Neill from Arizona. Both of them having been to Patriot Academy several times and traveled around the nation helping other young people and mentoring other young people to be a part of Patriot Academy. And then one of the things that happened to you guys out of Patriot Academy is you ended up working at the state capitol and getting the chance to be in a legislator's office and experience a real legislative session. How did your preparation at Patriot Academy make that experience of actually being in the Capitol for a real legislative session even better?
No, it helped immensely. So as far as the committee processes, when we went in and had to listen to bills and write reports and summaries on them, we were not completely lost. We understood some of the political nomenclature that they were using. And also, Patriot Academy really did help us understand what our representatives go through and know that it is not an easy process. And it's so easy to look at the legislature and think, well, how come they don't get anything done? And then you look at how nuanced and complicated the process can be, and you go in having this newfound respect for what a lot of them do.
Yeah, and I think we want a system where it's hard for legislation to get passed, but after being through a legislative session, you really have a different perspective. It's so easy to complain about what a representative does or maybe what they don't do. When you've actually seen it from the inside out, you go, okay, maybe I understand a little bit better now. Mike, what about you? How was your experience working at the legislature?
But I think that a lot of people started to legislate out not sure actually what the process is in the inside.
Yeah.
We're so used to seeing bills come out on the outside, but not watching the whole bill process and how committees work and how the representatives actually have to interact with each other to get bills passed. But I think coming to Patriot Academy gave us an upper hand, having to see how committees work and how the floor process works. Committee phrases, floor phrases, as well as how to read bills. So I think Patriot Academy is a good starting point for anyone looking for not only a career in politics, but want to be an informed citizen.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and something else was my chief of staff on the first day of the job, he sat me down. He said, okay, I want to talk to you about a few things on how you look at a piece of legislation. I was like, oh yeah, I use the LIFT principles. And he said, that's exactly what I was about to teach you. And so for those of you not aware of what the LIFT principles are, we teach them at Patriot Academy. It stands for Limited Government, Individual Liberty, Freedom of Enterprise, and Timeless Truths. And my representative, my chief of staff, made it very clear that every single time we analyzed a bill and we wrote voting recommendations and summaries, that we used that litmus test. And then off of that litmus test, we would write a summary, give it to the representative, and that's what he would use when he was on the House floor.
And they're actually great principles by which to judge even candidates. As our listeners out there are thinking about, okay, how do I use this? Well, I mean, it's an election year, so every candidate you're thinking about voting for, if you would go in there and say, let me look at this from a LIFT perspective, limited government, individual liberties, free enterprise, timeless truths, where does this candidate stand on those issues? Get a good voter guide and then share that with friends and family. It makes a big difference. I was thinking about, Mike, what you were saying, it'd be a lot easier if you could be dictator, right? And you could just go in and say, here's my bill, it's going to pass, done, right? And what you guys saw, and I think what you were saying, Mike, is, they have to work with, in Texas, it's 150 House members and 31 senators, so they got to work with 180 other people to get something done. And that's why it does take good skill. It does take, experiences like Patriot Academy for a legislator to be good at what they do. Not just elected, but good at what they do. That's why we do Patriot Academy, is raising up a new generation of leaders. So that guys just like y'all and so many of our other graduates, many of whom, are working in capitals across the country, are actually serving as reps and senators. I mean, that is why we do what we do. Not just for that arena, but as we said earlier, if you want to go make movies, if you want to go into the ministry, if you want to go, whatever, business, whatever your particular career, we want to equip you to be the best leader possible and be a positive influence in that realm. And so Patriot Academy is designed to be a leadership training program. Our executive director, Nathan Macias, he refers to the legislative part of it as a leadership laboratory. So even though you guys are on the House floor and you're debating bills and all that, it's about so much more than that. It really is about leadership, building camaraderie, learning how to network, build relationships, all of that happening in just 1 week. And there's a lot of options this summer for people to sign up. Go to patriotacademy.com to learn more and figure out how you can be a part of it. Guys, I think it's part of being the solution. I mean, for somebody out there that maybe is concerned about the country even, what would you say to them about coming to Patriot Academy to figure out how they can be a part of the solution to the problems that are happening out there?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Coming to Patriot Academy will equip you with the skills and training necessary to take on some of the false rhetoric we see today. I know if it wasn't for Patriot Academy and also Tim and David Barton, who come and give us a lot of American history and a lot of facts on American history, I would have been very ill-equipped and very ill-prepared when it came to speaking out in my college classes.
Yeah.
And I definitely had the passion, I had the ambition, but I did not have the skills or training to match. And having David and Tim and you and all of Patriot Academy to help sharpen me, as you said, iron sharpens iron, Proverbs 27:17, it was very helpful, and I was very glad I could come out and participate.
Yeah. And there's a lot of ways to participate once you go through and you get the training. A lot of ways you can apply it when you get back home, just like you did, Mike, and helping with that Constitution class there in Thousand Oaks. And getting other people to come to Patriot Academy, even going with us to Front Sight and being part of our constitutional defense courses and bringing people to that. There's a lot of ways to be involved, not just coming to the Capitol for Patriot Academy, but that's a great place to start. Check out patriotacademy.com and learn more about the dates this summer. Get your application in now. I know the tuition goes up at some point in the next month or so, so you get an earlier application, gets you a less expensive tuition, even though it's all incredibly inexpensive, and your tuition actually covers hotel and meals and materials and all those things. So it's actually a great deal thanks to all of our donors out there that make it possible. If you want to be a part of that, you can go to patriotacademy.com as well. If you're looking for a good place to make a good investment in the future and the next generation, go to patriotacademy.com, make that donation, or apply and come hang out with us this summer. Got one more segment coming up. Stay with us, folks. You're listening to WallBuilders Live.
Have you noticed the vacuum of leadership in America? We're looking around for leaders of principle to step up, and too often, no one is there. God is raising up a generation of young leaders with a passion for impacting the world around them. They're crying out for the mentorship and leadership training they need. Patriot Academy was created to meet that need. Patriot Academy graduates now serve in state capitals around America, in the halls of Congress, in business, in the film industry, in the pulpit, and every area of the culture. They're leading effectively and impacting the world around them. Patriot Academy is now expanding across the nation, and now's your chance to experience this life-changing week that trains champions to change the world. Visit patriotacademy.com for dates and locations. Our core program is still for young leaders 16 to 25 years old, but we also now have a citizen track for adults. So visit the website today to learn more. Help us fill the void of leadership in America. Join us in training champions to change the world at patriotacademy.com.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us here on WallBuilders Live. In studio with us today, Mike Noriega from California. I can't believe I let someone from California into our studio, but I did. And Elijah O'Neill from Arizona, which is better, much better actually, on the political scale. But Mike, you're not alone in California, as we said at the beginning of the program. I think I've probably spoken and done more Constitution classes in your home state of California than any other state for sure, and maybe the rest of the country combined. I mean, there's a lot of people in California that still love America, that get inspired by a young guy like you coming out and speaking on principles of liberty. So we're not giving up on California yet.
Exactly, not yet.
I want people in Texas that are listening right now to consider having you guys come out to speak. When you go to a group and you give your 10-minute presentation on the future of liberty and your generation being involved in that, what are some of the main points you want people to leave there with? When you go to a group and speak, what are you hoping happens?
I think the number one takeaway most people get is, why do young people come from all across the country to Patriot Academy? What do they want with the future of a nation? They're so used to saying socialism is good among our generation.
They do hear that a lot.
We need free stuff in this generation. That the ideologies of this generation does not correspond with the values that they want.
So what you're saying that most people, when they see you get up to speak, they're expecting you to be for socialism and free stuff and all that. And so when you start talking about free enterprise and responsibility, they're kind of have a little bit of shock maybe, but then they're saying, hey, wait a minute, if this guy at 19 years old is articulating this stuff, what's going on at this Patriot Academy program?
Right, exactly. So as I always leave them, I always tell them about Joseph Warren before the Shaw was holder and the world at Lexington and Concord. That Joseph Warren told patriots, our country is in danger, but not to be despaired of. On you depends the fortunes and happiness of a million yet unborn. Act worthy of yourselves. And that's what Patriot Academy students do. They intend to act worthy of themselves and be able to leave more freedom than they were born into.
That's good. Oh, man. That's what it's all about right there.
Sure.
Those millions unborn and what we're doing today. Act worthy of yourself. That's such a good reminder of what we need to be doing every day as citizens, no matter what your age, but specifically today, 16 to 25-year-olds, we really want you to listen and consider not only enjoying your rights, but learning how to, take your responsibility with those rights and actually do something with it, and actually defend those rights.
And another thing that I try to push when I'm giving a speech across the country is there is hope.
Yeah.
And also there are individuals that are wanting to raise that torch of freedom even higher and make it shine even brighter. But we need people like your listeners to support Patriot Academy, and that there are individuals like us willing to fight, but we need the resources, we need the training, and we need the wisdom from the previous generation.
That's so good, because I think a lot of times people think there are no good leaders out there. I often hear people say, where's Washington, where's Adams, where they are out there. They're guys just like you that are being raised up to do that, But it takes finances for those programs. It takes individuals getting involved. It takes individuals even getting online today and putting in that request just to have you guys come speak. So taking that step to say, hey, yeah, I'd like these guys to come speak. When they do that, they become a force multiplier, because now when you get in front of their group, whatever kind of group it is, Lions Club, Republican Club, whatever it might be. I mean, when you get in front of that group, now those 20, 30, 50, 100, whatever in that group are going to hear this positive message about how we can impact the culture, how these timeless principles of liberty still work today, and what your generation is doing to implement those things. I mean, that's a fantastic way for people to make a difference. Go to patriotacademy.com today. You can learn more about booking for events and speakers. Either have us come do our Comedy and Constitution, have one of these guys come give, even if you've already got a keynote speaker at your group, have these guys come in and just do 10 minutes before that. And I'm telling you, it will inspire your group. We see it over and over and over again. All that information is at patriotacademy.com. And then if you want to come spend a whole week with these guys, and me, I get to hang out too, but if you want to come spend a whole week with us at Patriot Academy, then look at those dates this summer and consider coming with us. And you've probably thought about somebody, as Mike and Elijah have been talking, or as I laid out what Patriot Academy is about, you've probably already thought about several people that you think would benefit from Patriot Academy. So send them those links. This whole program now, we're in our 20th year since we founded Patriot Academy. Founded in 2000. And I remember, David and his whole family, the Bartons, got behind us and supported us. WallBuilders became our partner in making this happen, and now we're in state capitals across the country. And in this 20th year, let's make it really count. Let's make sure that you are getting equipped and trained and ready to have an influence in your community. We'll help you do that at Patriot Academy. Mike, Elijah, God bless you guys. Keep up the great work. Thanks for coming in studio, and thanks for what you're doing to lift up the torch of freedom.
Thank you very much.
So, well, folks, you can find out more at our website, wallbuilderslive.com. There's also a link there to take you right over to patriotacademy.com. And while you're there at wallbuilderslive.com, click on that donate button. Make sure you make that contribution one time or monthly. Come alongside us, lock shields with us, be a part of the solution. Thanks for listening to WallBuilders Live.
We stand under